Coming up now on your spoiler-free wrestling news rundown, Ronda Rousey says she takes trash talking from the fans personally. Nick Gage has signed a contract with GCW, and the Boogeyman has signed a new deal with WWE. I'm Gentleman Ian, and this is Spoiler-Free Wrestling. At Spoiler Free Wrestling, our goal is to give you all the wrestling news you want, but with none of the spoilers. We'll be going through all of the news-making headlines in the world of professional wrestling today, but we will omit any information which could potentially spoil future shows for you. If you appreciate this type of wrestling coverage, please subscribe, click the like button, and share this video with anyone who you think would appreciate it. Game Changer Wrestling revealed on social media that they have signed Nick Gage to an official multi-year contract with the promotion. Now, GCW doesn't normally contract their talent. However, an exception was made for the deathmatch wrestler Nick Gage. Here is what GCW's Brett Lauderdale had to say on Twitter. Lauderdale wrote, "This is the first and likely the last contract GCW will ever offer. Nick has earned the right to finish his career on his terms with dignity and a focus on the future he deserves. I'm proud GCW can give him that. For the hard work, sacrifice, and loyalty over 23 plus years, MDK all effing day." GCW is back at it. They have some events coming up in Atlantic City on February 19th. They have some matches announced, including Matt Tremont versus Hoodfoot, Mascara Dorada versus Joey Janela, Atticus Cogar versus Ali Catch. The Briscoes will take on the Spanish announce table, Joel Maximo and Jose Maximo. John Wade and Murdoch will take on G-Raver, and for the GCW Ultraviolet Championship, Alex Colon will defend against Reed Bentley. Then they are back at it in Atlantic City the next day as Too Cold Scorpio takes on Gringo Loco. Atticus Cogar will take on Alex Zane. Drago Kid versus ASF. Joey Janela and Marco Stunt will team up to take on the Second Gear Crews, AJ Gray and Matthew Justice. Then, for the GCW World Tag Team titles, the Hate Club, Matt Tremont and Nick Gage will defend against the Rejects, John Wayne Murdoch and Reed Bentley. Ronda Rousey recently made some headlines with some comments she made during a Facebook Live video game stream where she was playing the God of War. Rousey mentioned that she sometimes takes the trash talking from fans personally. Her comments are up on your screen now. Here's what she had to say. She said, "It's hard not to take the trash talking personally from the fans because I don't go out there as, I do go out there as a character, but I am also actually Ronda Rousey. So I don't play Ronda Rousey on television. So sometimes I take it personally from the fans. Not so much from the wrestlers, the fans I do." Rousey also commented on how she's been wearing different wrestling gear since she returned than what she did 3 years ago with her Roddy Piper-inspired gear. Rousey said, "Well, I just had a baby 4 months ago, and I didn't really feel confident enough to don my regular wrestling gear yet, but I'm working towards it. Because, it's hard when you're coming back and being judged directly to how you looked 3 years ago." The Boogeyman, who was frequently coming to get ya during his WWE career, he posted to social media recently to confirm that he has signed a new contract with WWE. Now, although the nature of this contract is not known, it's likely that the 57-year-old has signed a Legends deal with the company. Boogeyman still competes on the independent circuit as well. It's not known if he will have any involvement with WWE programming moving forward, but this story has been making headlines in the world of wrestling media today. The Boogeyman was the 2006 Pro Wrestling Illustrated Rookie of the Year. That award went to Jade Cargill this year, so we'll see what is next for the Boogeyman with WWE. The television ratings are in for last Friday's edition of AEW Rampage. They were down in both total viewers and the 18 to 49-year-old demographic. However, they were up against the Winter Olympics. We also saw in our video yesterday that the ratings for SmackDown were also down. So the show brought in an average of 540,000 viewers and a 0.20 in the 18 to 49 demographic. Up on your screen now are the ratings for Rampage so far in 2022. And you can see that while they did do slightly less total viewers on the January 14th show, this is tied for the lowest number that they've done in the key demographic all year. Comparing them to shows such as NXT, you can see they do comparable total viewers. However, AEW Rampage is regularly better in the key demographic. Going up against AEW Dynamite, you can see that they sort of hover around maybe 60% of the total viewers that Dynamite gets, and perhaps around 2/3, maybe around 2/3 of what Dynamite does in the key demographic, and they are behind both Raw and SmackDown. SmackDown being the most watched television program in the United States. However, their ratings were down for the February 4th edition as well. They averaged 2 million viewers and a 0.50 in the key demographic. WWE announced before Raw last night that they have booked a Women's Elimination Chamber match for the Elimination Chamber Premium Live event on February 19th from the Jeddah Superdome in Saudi Arabia. They announced 5 of the 6 competitors for the match, those being Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, Liv Morgan, Doudrop, and Nikki ASH, and there is a mystery entrant to be named later. So the updated lineup for the show has the men's Elimination Chamber match where WWE Champion Bobby Lashley will defend against Brock Lesnar, Seth Rollins, Austin Theory, Riddle, and AJ Styles. For the Universal Championship, Roman Reigns will defend against Goldberg. For the Raw Women's Championship, Becky Lynch will defend against WWE Hall of Famer Lita. For the SmackDown Tag Team titles, the Usos, Jimmy and Jay, will defend against the Viking Raiders, Eric and Ivar. And in singles competition, Drew McIntyre will take on Madcap Moss. Former 3-time WWE Women's Champion and 2-time Divas Champion Melina participated in the Royal Rumble recently. She was the number 2 entrant and was eliminated by the number 1 entrant, Sasha Banks. Melina took to social media to send a message to Sasha Banks. Here is what Melina wrote. She said, "Thank you for all the love and edits for a match versus Sasha Banks. I love them. Last year, Impact and the NWA gave me 2 great matches that I will always cherish. One with Deonna Purrazzo and the other with Camille. Both gave me so much joy. It also proved I can still get in there with the best. So that night at the Royal Rumble, I was ready to go. I wish that moment with Sasha was a singles match. To think if we were able to get a reaction like we did that night without wrestling, can you imagine what we could do if we actually wrestled? I can wish for a match with you with all my heart, and it may never happen, but whether it was 5 seconds, 60 seconds, or 20 minutes in the ring with you, Sasha, I'm grateful for that magic moment at the Rumble, no matter how short. I will forever keep that in my heart." And finally, we have 2 wrestling shows that are going to air tonight on Tuesday, February the 8th. The first will take place at 7 o'clock p.m. on YouTube, and it is an episode of AEW Dark. This episode, I believe, was filmed in Orlando's Universal Studios. 9 matches are scheduled. They are Lee Moriarty versus Anthony Henry, Powerhouse Hobbs versus Gus de la Vega, Mercedes Martinez versus Queen Aminata, Fuego del Sol versus Serpentico, Anna Jay versus Casey Lennox, Anthony Ogogo versus Tony Vincita. The Gun Club's Colton and Austin will take on Liam Gray and Adrian Alanis. Julia Hart will be back in action, and she will take on Kelsey Heather. And Wheeler Yuta will take on Aaron Solo. And finally, NXT 2.0 will air tonight from the WWE Performance Center in Orlando. Here are the matches booked for that show. Tiffany Stratton is going to square off with the sleepy Wendy Chu in a match that is for Tiffany's dad's credit card. Huh. Also coming up on NXT tonight, LA Knight will take on Sangha. Saray will take on Dakota Kai. Also, Braun Breaker and Santos Escobar will hold a championship summit for their championship match at Vengeance Day. And in an NXT Women's Championship match, Mandy Rose will defend against Kaylee Ray. And that's it for today's video, everyone. If you haven't already, please subscribe to this channel, click the like button, and share this video with anyone who you feel would appreciate this type of wrestling coverage. I'm Gentleman Ian for Spoiler Free Wrestling.